Okay, so now let's get to the best line of the debate. And it was definitely the one against philosophers. Those goddamn philosophers, they nailed him. They nailed him. Here's what's really wrong with this country. Fucking philosophers. I mean, what a weird thing to get obsessed by. But every time they were like, well, I'll tell you who the problem is, philosophers. People were like, yes!
Damn you, Voltaire!
Philosophers have been fucking this country for years.
That's right. We've been overthinking everything. We've been overthinking everything. 10% tax, that's it.
Yeah, no thinking. In my administration, no thinking. If anybody's thinking, I call them a philosopher and fire them.
What makes people think is too many regulations telling them they have to think. That's why people are thinking now.
Right, and they get bigger and bigger.
Oh,
yeah.
Bigger thoughts.
Yeah, you see Chris Christie?
He's always thinking about his next meal.
Philosopher king. That's what that guy is.
Yes.
It's not the donuts. It's the thinking.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Okay, all right.
Jake is literally crying from laughing.
I mean, this is
I had a great time,
This
man.
is like a joke. And you know what the funny thing is also, or the sad thing, or the revealing thing is that these guys we're laughing so hard at what meatheads they were and how much just bullshit they threw out. Sitting in front of a panel of economic journalists, right? Business journalists, they didn't lay a glove on them. Couldn't lay a glove on any one of those guys. Not one of those guys came away with even a scratch on them, sitting in front of three people who all they do is talk about business and money and taxes and corporations and regulations. And all those guys did was bullshit for 2 hours nonstop with upside down, backward facts, and they couldn't lay a glove on them. And nobody's embarrassed by that.
Yeah. Well, and there was one, so we know that this debate, I think, proves that regardless of the fact that the GOP couldn't rally around one of their letters to reform the debates, they got what they wanted, because this was a sham. This makes the forum look like a competitive debate. There was more shouting back. They one time started to ask the sort of question that they asked the Democrats at the first debate. They said to Ben Carson, "You're getting accused of lying about your record." Now he gets to talk for 1 minute, where he doesn't accurately defend what he's done. No follow-ups, no follow-ups whatsoever, and then no even attempt to do the same with the other candidates. They just teed up and said, "You like families, now talk for a bit.
Yes.
You like honesty, talk for a bit." It was insanity. They talked about their tax policies. Each person had a chance to talk about their tax policies. 12%, 13% flat tax, and nobody dared bring up amongst the moderators that you clearly cannot actually run the federal government on that, because we saw at the last Republican debate that they tried to do that, and that's when the attacks against the media started. And so they're never going to point out that these policies are fucking fairy tales from top to bottom.
So there's really no point in having these debates. It just becomes a platform where they can lie to the public and they'll be unchallenged, which goes to the point that Cenk was making earlier. You know, they just lie, and they're so good at it because they know they can get away with it, Cenk. I don't know what it is. Maybe Democrats have some sort of moral compass. But for some reason, Democrats don't lie as blatantly as Republicans do. They lie, but not like this.
So, well, part of the reason is because the press has been cowed. Now, in this case, it's Fox, so they were never going to challenge him anyway.
But in the first Fox debate, they did do some challenging.
Yes,
right.
the first one.